So we started carrying stand-up paddle boards 3 or 4 seasons ago. We've been a kayak and canoe distributor for a long time, but there was some interest in the paddle boards. I think the appeal for a lot of people is also that you are standing up, so you can sort of see around you better. You're a little bit more visible when it comes to like other watercraft, I guess. But I think mostly people just enjoy it because it's quiet and relaxing. It also happens to be a pretty good workout, so I think that's also a big appeal for the people that have been interested in coming and getting those products. You need a paddleboard, you need a paddle, and you need a life vest or a PFD. And so I'd say in most cases for $800 and up, you can get into a paddleboard and a paddleboard setup. So we sell primarily 3 different kinds of boards. We sell what would be called a displacement board, which is designed to be very stable. So there are people that are interested in doing things like yoga on SUP boards and things like that. And so those are generally going to be a little more beginner friendly as far as the use is concerned, but they're also designed, like I said, to be more stable. There are planing boards, and a planing board has a little bit more of almost like a traditional like surfboard shape. For people in moving water, or some people do take them to the beach and go kind of surf on them. The planing style boards tend to be the preference. There's also an inflatable sort of style of board, which allows you to have something that packs up pretty small, and then you pump it up and inflate it. The inflatable boards tend to be more durable because they're made out of like a heavy-duty rubber as opposed to like a fiberglass. So we sell some of all, although in the last couple years I think the inflatable ones have been the most popular.
Well, I began the paddleboard classes last spring. In April, I went to Wrightsville, North Carolina, and there was a paddleboard yoga teacher training. You have to have a 200-hour yoga teacher training certificate, and then you go, and the first part of the training is becoming a paddleboard instructor, and I'm certified by the World Paddleboard Association as an instructor, and then you learn how to teach yoga specifically on the paddleboards. So that's how we began, and then I purchased 6 paddleboards from Boga Yoga. They're designed specifically for yoga. They're very different from a paddleboard that you want to take for general paddleboarding. They're much slower because they're big and they're thick and they have a yoga mat on top. We offer paddleboard yoga 5 times a week, all summer long. Monday mornings at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. for a sunset paddleboard, and then Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. The classes last 90 minutes, and it includes paddleboard rental, your anchor. You need an anchor in order to do yoga on the paddleboard. And so it's a little mini paddleboarding lesson followed by a yoga class on the paddleboards. And it's $40 per person, and we only take 5 people out at a time, just to keep it small and make sure the teacher's watching everyone is safe, and so keep it nice and small. Paddleboard yoga is nice because it's always nice to be outside, but also you have to engage. When you practice yoga in the studio a lot, you tend to get into a habit, get in a routine, and you're not as careful. You have to stay engaged the entire time on the paddleboard. You have to keep your core engaged. You have to be very cautious about your alignment, very cognizant of where you're placing your body. And then also just the idea of being out in nature and listening to the sounds while you're practicing, and it's just, everybody loves it. I haven't had anyone come off and say that they didn't have a fabulous time. We have people that have never done yoga before, and we keep it simple enough that you can still do it even if you don't have yoga experience, and almost no one that we take out has paddleboard experience, so everybody's a beginner.